All right, it is time for Mega Man Legends 2 with BlueMetal and Alien. Each want to introduce yourselves in the run?
Yeah, sure. And BlueMetal. I run a lot of Mega Man Legends stuff. BlueMetal. This game is probably my favorite. I run a lot of Mega Man Legends stuff. This game is probably my favorite with the whole series. Commentator, really good who's also pretty good at these games. Here with commentator who's also pretty good at these games.
I run Mega Man Legends 2 and Mega Man Legends 1. Going to be commentating for this lovely marathon. Hope you guys are enjoying it so far.
Yeah, and this is the. You probably noticed this says Rockman. This is the. You probably noticed this says Rockman Dash 2 instead of Mega Man Legends 2. This is the Japanese version. This is specifically the PSP port that only came out in Japan, and it's faster for a few reasons. But we'll touch on those reasons as they come up. But yeah, other than that, I think let me see. Yeah, I think we're good to go. So we can start the run any moment now.
Awesome. You can start the run in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. All right, so here starts Mega Man Legends 2. We're on the Flutter, and it's on fire. Oh, crap, what happened? So our little monkey pal, Data, he was trying to cook pizza, and it went horribly wrong. And even though we have a fire extinguisher, it's faster to put out the fire by rolling into it and losing all your HP first.
It's definitely the more efficient way. Yeah, it is quite faster. You have to go through several rooms with a fire extinguisher and take out all these big flames, and it takes way longer, and the outcome is a little less funny than what happens here.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm rolling into it is rolling cancels out your iframes, so by the time I reach the flame, my iframes are gone and I can just hurt myself faster. Funny way to start the run, right? You just damaging yourself just to end it quicker.
It's totally an omen to what's going to happen in this run. Data is the first victim. This is quite a daunting and difficult speed run, especially compared to the first game. There are going to be a lot of moments where it could be life and death, but there are ways to circumvent that with safety strats.
Yeah, this game, it's a tougher run than it looks. Like, it's kind of a running theme with the Legends games. They look kind of simple to run at first, but there's actually a lot of details you have to look out for. And I'm here in Gramps' room just robbing him all his money, no problem. He's not using it. I need to use it. So it's going to be a shopping trip, yeah.
Yeah, buying a couple of things early on. And interesting thing about the money routing is, unlike in a lot of games, including Legends 1 again, the money drops in this game are completely consistent. So all the enemies that are coming up are going to be dropping the same amount of money, which makes the routing for it nice and easy.
Yeah, sometimes in Legends 1 it would mess you up, but that's if you get unlucky. But anyway, here I'm going to be buying the energy canteen. I'm going to buy it early for safety. Rollerboard, Power Razor, and I'm going to put on the Power Razor ASAP. Alright, so I usually buy the canteen much later into the game, but for safety's sake, I'm going to buy it early and then get some extra zenny to compensate for having to get it so soon. Because you never know what might happen in this run. I could die early on if something just goes completely wrong. So, better be safe than sorry. Because in this game, when you die, you don't have lives or anything. You go back to the title screen after the game over screen. And in a speedrun, we're not saving. So, you make sure you don't want to die. Every safety precaution you can take, you do it.
The first instance of movement tech comes from this room. It's most noticeable here how much jumping actually saves time. It's faster than walking forward, and that'll be the fastest form of movement for just a little while until the jet skates get developed. We bought half of it in the shop, the rollerboard. We'll be acquiring the other piece in this dungeon right here.
Yeah, compared to Legends 1, you get the skates like mad early, and the skates, they're your next major form of movement. And in this game, they added jump mechanics to the skates as well, where if you're holding forward on the D-pad, by the time you reach a ledge, you make a big jump. If you're holding nothing, neutral, then it does like a mid-jump. And if you hold down, you just drop. And it lends itself to doing a lot of making a lot of interesting jumps possible, and you'll see that throughout the run. So let's see, here's the other piece right in here. And I'm gonna hope that these bots don't land in front of the door. I'll be sad. I'm kind of sad. I'm a little bit sad, not gonna lie. That's RNG. Right when they land, they bounce and they go somewhere. And I think all of them happen to go right for the door. That's so rude. And coming right up in here is the first boss. It's more like a mini boss though. He's really simple. We call him Spike Butt, and you'll see in just a second why.
He has a very obvious weak point, and we're gonna be trying to land these stutter shots here in a specific way to get 2 hits on.
Like that.
Yeah, he got like that without it going through the hit stun.
Oh, 2.
Oh, 2 doubles. That's very nice. Money spread is random, but the drops are not. So
yeah.
Stutter shooting is an interesting way of basically negating the rapid fire stat. There are all sorts of stats that we'll be going over when upgrading the main weapon, the Buster, and by canceling the animation into a stutter over and over in specific rhythm, you can get some really rapid fire shots and totally delete some bosses.
Yeah, it's pretty broken. It works with weapons too. And I just picked up some safety Zenny, because I normally don't grab that, but since I bought the canteen early, I want to make sure everything falls back into place. And in that trash can, I picked up the first part of a weapon I'll be using, not just yet, but in this game, you build weapons by bringing more than one piece to roll, and then she puts them together, makes a special weapon for you. And weapons in this game can be either really good or really, really bad. And the first one I'll be getting is the missiles, but we don't use it quite yet because we don't have the other part. And let's see, gonna be canceling that, developing. Just made the jet skates. And as soon as I land on the next island, I'll be putting the jet skates on, and you'll be seeing how much faster you move with those. But when I put on the jet skates, I'm be just moving from point A to point B. So I think it'd be a good time for donations if you got any.
Awesome. I have a $300 donation from Randomize.
Yo.
I've actually saved up my money just to donate to the game I was most excited about all weekend. Good luck, have fun, Blue, and let's get some Glod splits. Time to see some Dark Link, I mean Mega Man. Also, putting my money towards the 0 run of MMX Stream 2 run. And with that, we have passed over $1,000 for this marathon raised for RAD. Thank you all so much for your generosity.
Yo, fantastic.
That's amazing.
And here's another mini boss. It's a wolf-looking Reaver bot. We're just gonna lead him over this way. It's gonna get stuck over here, and he's dead. Like we said earlier, you can just kind of delete some bosses with this. And I mainly only needed the red and purple Zennies. The other two are tiny, don't matter much. So here's another instance of stutter shooting, but I'll be taking it a step further. It's mainly meant for stationary enemies because you can't really lock on while you do it, but it's fast and it's difficult.
Call out the super stutter. These 3 enemies over here are mandatory. I'm going to be grabbing the Zenny they drop just because it doesn't take much time and we're going to be needing it for the development coming up. Yeah, super stuttering is very powerful, but you don't get a lot of opportunities to use it. The enemies are very mobile in this game.
Got the dodge, nice. That dodge is pretty tight.
Double dodge.
And now here's like the first main boss. This dude trips up a lot of people, and we're gonna be abusing the landscape around us to avoid the shockwave from the slam attack that he does pretty frequently. It depends on elevation too. If he's up too high, it won't work. See, I didn't get hit by the shockwave because I'm standing on these mounds of snow. And they put me just high enough to avoid it.
And optimally, you want to be aiming in between the nose and his body to get some extra damage in there. It lands on 2 hitboxes instead of 1. Maybe get a kill here before the desperation attack. Yeah, this is looking good. Okay, well. Triple laser there is whatever, but yeah, it's not the attack where he goes invincible. So it was a nice fight.
Yeah, if he flashes white before he does an attack, he's invincible during that one. So he didn't do that, so we were able to get more damage in. So here in this big old ship called the Sulphur Bottom, it's gonna steal some of its money, no problem. It didn't need it. I did. And gonna be grabbing a piece for the drill arm. I'll be using that later too, and doing some more shopping. But the main thing I'll be buying from the shopping is the other piece of the missile launcher. Because the first one I found was in that trash can just before I went to Forbidden Island, Snow Place. And the other one's here. Alright. Now when we head out to the next island, be developing the missile launcher. And we're going to be using that for a little while. It's a good weapon, but sometimes those missiles have a mind of their own, and it's just... gotta really know what you're doing when you're shooting and stuff. Sometimes this game is anti-lock-on, even though they improved the lock-on mechanics. Oh, whoops. And just enough Zane to upgrade the attack. And now for the next major boss, and this boss is kind of a pain because of a strat that another runner found that makes me hate this boss.
Yeah, this boss used to not be that much of an issue. There was some barrier to entry, but now it just got pushed extremely high because this strat right here is very specific, and if you get it wrong, you're getting knocked over. So let's see you walk in this. Where's this spot? Stutter missile? Got knocked away, but not a big deal.
Good enough,
Yeah,
good enough.
landing those shots is really the key factor. Optimally, you would go in there, stutter all your missiles away, shoot some buster until your missiles regenerate, and then land one last one. But that was almost as good. That's really all you can ask for with that boss.
Yeah, because when her health reaches like a bit less than half, she does this invincible spinning thing that goes on for like 20 or so seconds. You can't do anything about it other than just sit there and watch and just let your time bleed away. So if you mess it up, at that point it becomes health management with the boss, and it sucks. And this place, Mandaroons, it's probably one of the hardest dungeons to speedrun in the whole game because there's a lot of jumps, there's a lot of dodges, and after a while this place starts throwing everything at you, including the kitchen sink, everything. Everything that it has is gonna start throwing it at you, and it gets really, really annoying. Like starting off with dodging frogs.
Very technically demanding. It forces you to get acquainted with the escape mechanics. So coming up on this boss right here, it's going to be missiling a couple frogs and utilizing the lifter to instant kill a frog into another frog. Switching back, this guy's Bola. It's a pretty chill dude, but unfortunately, we're going to have to shoot some missiles at him. So we used to go through this dungeon with the drill arm instead of the missile launcher. And that would make these bosses much more trivial. It takes a bit more skill to use the missiles properly, and there's some health management coming up on the next boss.
Yeah, I miss running this place with the drill, but
yeah,
missiles are faster, sadly.
Way faster, because you don't have to spend that time going back to the flutter and go ahead and develop the drill arm right away. Still going to be developing the drill arm, just we don't need it right here.
Alright, I hope I can get this chest gate set up correct. Crap, I fell. Alright, abort, keep going. We'll just set it back up right here.
If you try to salvage it in that area, you're getting ping-ponged. You're absolutely getting bounced around by those dudes shooting around.
Yeah, that room is really, really annoying. And now we're going to be coming in here to refight Bola. And just like mentioned before, he's got some health management. Another long invincible attack you have to sit and wait for, so we have to do a little bit of damage first, wait for the right opportunity, then finish him off.
Opting for stutter shooting, less DPS than the missiles, so he stays above half, and then just finish him off pretty quickly. It's very important that you don't skip this cutscene too fast. If you press start immediately, especially on the PSP version, it will crash right there, and there's nothing, like, that's it. That's your run.
Yeah, this port specifically has that problem. I don't know how Capcom managed to do that, but they did it. They made the game crash and they skipped that cutscene. So I activated that panel, and now the dungeon is just suddenly much more dangerous.
Yeah, that's sort of the main gimmick here, is going through the same obstacles you just went through, but with the traps turned on. This pillar swinging back and forth, there's going to be some really annoying stuff. They upgraded the frog hallway up here a little bit.
Now there's fire frogs. Not these two, but the next ones. Okay. If you mess up that dodge and you get hit by one of them, you're on fire and you'll be taking extra damage over time, and it sucks. It's painful. And in this room, I'm gonna hope I don't get hit by these plants shooting stuff. Cool. Okay. See, this is what I mean. They're throwing a lot of stuff at you. That little dude wasn't there before. And now there's more dudes in here. Like,
in that previous room, the floor was electrified, so if you step on that, you get, I guess, paralyzed, and your movement speed is cut down by, like, to an eighth of what it normally is. It's really slow.
Yeah. And let's see, this room has a little bit of a hard jump. Like you're trying to, trying to bait both of them to jump, but you want the one on the right to do a short jump so he doesn't touch you. Some here. Okay, we're through the worst of it. From this point on, the dungeon should be easy, but that was just several rooms of the game just throwing all kinds of garbage at you. Just And then in a couple rooms coming up, you'll be grabbing a couple chests. One of them's going to have a piece to another weapon we'll be using, and that one's going to have the helmet, but we're not going to use the helmet. We get it to sell it because the money routing in this speedrun is pretty tight.
This is what I was talking about.
Alright. Okay. The one time I go for that jump in a marathon, those dudes are right there waiting for me.
That jump is super tight, and it's only slightly faster because you get the escape jump a little earlier, but not too bad. Yeah, you would normally just hold up and go through that room, but that's not stylish.
Yeah, it's only like a third of a second faster to do the jump that I tried to do, but man, I was unlucky.
This is the last instance of this dungeon being easier with the drill. Fighting this frog boss and one cycling it is significantly more difficult with the missiles, but let's see if Blue gets this. Very nice. The worst thing that can happen is you bonking the mouth, and it's still doable there, but it's a lot more difficult. You have to really react quickly.
Yeah, before when you had the drill, you would just jump, land in front of him, and the second he opens his mouth, he's dead. But this time you have to like shoot 2, move to the side, shoot 3 more. It's much more difficult. But made it through the worst dungeon, but there's still much more to come. A lot of stuff that's dangerous.
Oh yeah, it only gets worse.
Yeah, and in that, I almost called it a treasure chest. Excuse me, that's a trash can. It's
treasure
another
chest
piece to another.
People.
Yeah, to us especially, because like that's a piece to another weapon we'll be using. Not yet though, but it's a good weapon. All right, so in that first dungeon, first of 4, we got the they're called like motherlode keys, something keys, library keys. There's 1 in each dungeon, and sometimes they make it tough to get to. Like Manda Ruins is no joke. Kalinka Ruins is fun, but also no joke. That place can kill you. And the 3rd ruins can kill you. I think the 2nd one is the least likely one to kill you, but it can sap your time for sure. But we're not even going to get to the 2nd ruins yet. We got a lot of stuff to do first. Why'd I go to the development room? What's wrong with me? So we're going to be going to a place called Nino Island. And it's going to get attacked by Glide's dudes. Him and his bird bots. And all we're pretty much doing is just protecting a handful of areas. A lot of them are auto-scrollers. One of them has a mini-boss. Then there's a major boss on the top. And he's kind of an annoying boss to fight, but till then, we got the shopping trip. Let's see. Why did I go to parts? Okay, yep, alright. I was doing some routing testing earlier and I got mixed up. So I just bought a aqua chip. And what that does is I can develop it and it turns into what's called the aqua jets. So like I have the jet skates here. When I'm underwater, they don't work. But if I use the aqua jets, they do work underwater. So the 2nd dungeon is going to be a water dungeon. So you got to make sure you're prepared. Or else you're going to go extremely slow. Alright, so I'll be defending 3 areas. third one's gonna be a mini boss, but these next two are pretty much auto scrollers, so there's plenty of time for donations if you got some.
All
Shout out
right.
to that dude's face. Excuse me.
Shout out to that dude's face. I do want to mention that you are currently watching RBG Gold Rush, a new speaker and charity event by RBG Esports. Founded in 2018, RBG has been rising up in the esports world. From Rocket League to Counter-Strike to Smash, RBG Esports is a name you won't want to forget in the esports universe. Now, with the addition of this event, RBG Esports is entering the world of speedrunning. If you're interested in being a part of this new esports section of RBG, join the Discord. Just type !Discord in chat.
It's our pal Johnny. Likes to help out, but we're kind of preventing him from doing so. Oh. So pretty much what's happening here is I'm just waiting for this lever to come up, but it's on a timer. But when it does, and if I'm hanging on it, it'll automatically pull back down, but it takes a while. Just gotta defend this door here, because they're trying to shoot this wall here. There's a little health bar down at the bottom left for it next to mine, but you mostly don't have to worry about it. Get to practice starter shooting and stuff. Yeah.
You can't exactly fall asleep during these. Wow, he actually lifted the box onto that rail. That's pretty impressive.
He can't even pick it up now. Usually he's just like, pick up the box, put it down. Pick up the box, put it down. Pick up the box, put it down. He got it up here somehow.
What?
I was distracted by Johnny. I forgot to pull the lever, dude. I know this one right here, Area 2, is a pure auto scroller, so literally all I can do is just wait and just find some way to entertain myself. So if there's anything else, you know, donations, anything, yada yada, you know, plenty of time right here, especially.
So I do want to mention.
Sorry, just noticing Johnny got shot as soon as I got here. You're good.
Oh, Johnny. So I would also like to mention that if you happen to miss any runs from this event and want to watch them later, all of our runs will be posted on the RBG YouTube channel. Just type in !YouTube in chat for all the info. And if you need to see the schedule for all of our upcoming runs, just type in !schedule in chat to see what's going on throughout the entire weekend. Also, this week... Oh, nice. Excellent. Good job, Johnny. But this would also be a great time to remind everyone, don't forget to hydrate, stretch, and rest during the marathon. While we love having you all watch, lurk, chat, and be a part of the marathon, don't forget to also hydrate and relax during it. It's okay to use the restroom, eat, relax, rest, and drink water during the marathon. In fact, I am going to hydrate right now.
You know, I should do the same. I have time. I'm doing nothing here.
Auto scrollers are good for that.
Oh yeah.
We also have a $20 anonymous donation. Heart, spread it. Happy to see this happening.
I can't help it. I like bullying Johnny. It's too fun. Yeah, not too much longer.
If you're feeling devilish, you can go ahead and just switch to the lifter and knock Johnny off the ledge. You know, just give him a little push, but it lowers your karma. If you do it too often, you'll be fully dark. But if you do it right there at that timing, it won't register yet, and Blue won't get any karma points toward it.
Yeah, and you have to do it more than once to get like fully dark armor. You can do it once and it won't matter much. So in this game, there is a karma system, and if you're fully dark, then shop prices go up by like 20-25%, and then there's dialogue people don't like you.
Coming up here, started shooting, switching off, doing like a weird pseudo lock on and super stutter on this guy.
Yeah, it's because like when you're doing the super stutter thing, you're kind of slightly shifting your camera, but I want to be centered so I don't fall off, and the timing is a little bit different when you do on that, but whatever. As long as you just missile the guy and stutter shaftward, you're mostly good. Now up here, we have another auto score that's about like 1:20 long, followed by a boss, and that boss is really annoying to fight. He's one of these planes, but he's blue colored and he's annoying and very tanky. So until then, we got about a minute to spare.
Alright, I do want to point out, and actually chat pointed this out for me, shoutouts to chat, that we are only $40 away from raising $1,200 for this event, and nearly doubling what we made yesterday. So I wonder, chat, do you think we could get to that $1,200 by the end of this run? I certainly have faith in you, Twitch chat. I think you can do it. I've seen what you've done before.
I think it's possible.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. And of course, all of your donations during this event will be going to Rise Above the Disorder, or RAD. They are a non-profit dedicated to removing the two greatest barriers facing mental health care: access and affordability. To accomplish their mission, they provide a universal mental health care system to people around the globe. If you believe in a world where everyone has access to the hope, health, and happiness they deserve, you are RAD. For more information, you can visit youarerad.org, or you can donate by typing !donate in chat.
Alright, here's that annoying boss.
You try to get a triple missile off the bat, that would look really good. So you really just gotta be deliberate. You gotta fight this boss a million times to understand how it works, what makes him turn, and what'll give you a good shot at 2 missiles. Now he's gonna come back over one more time, gonna try and stutter shoot missile, walk over a little bit. None of those missiles. Away. Yeah, it was max range, dude. None of those missiles were landing, so yeah, unfortunately didn't get the 1 cycle, but it's one of the most difficult things to do to a boss in this game.
Oh well, we got him just right when he stopped to get ready to ram me. That's when you spam your missiles, but he was so far away, and my missiles didn't have range. That sucks. Oh well.
Did you not upgrade the missiles? I don't think you did upgrade the missile range, did you?
No, I'm just sticking to the usual route instead of doing my experimental stuff I was doing earlier.
Alright.
So I want to be upgrading him on the way to Glide's base. Speaking of Glide's base, that place is awful. If you're looking for the biggest RNG middle finger of the whole run, it's that place coming up.
Clyde's base is the reason why this game doesn't have as many runners as it could. Glide's base is horrible. I didn't run this game for like 2 extra years just because Glide's base exists. If Lava Pillar is the worst thing for top runners, I believe Glide's base is the worst thing for entry-level runners. This place is RNG, really technically demanding, extremely punishing, and it can sap away a lot of your time.
Yep, a lot of RNG here, because the main thing that's going to be happening is there's these 2 kids that live here by themselves with their sister, but the bird bots and Glide set up a base here, and they kidnapped their sister, so we have to have them help us get in there to help them save their sister. It's trash can for Zenny, by the way. And the outside area is one of the worst offenders of when it comes to RNG. Because what's going to be happening is we're going to be killing all the enemies, and then they're going to be leading us to the left side of the base so that they can throw us over the wall. But their AI is programmed to be as stupid as possible. Like, for example, if they run into a wall, bonk it, or if they like get hit by something, bonk you. They are literally designed to run away from the destination, run around who knows where, and then finally come back. So it's up to RNG whether or not they get there early, or if you have to go chase them down.
It's absurd. The first objective is to take out all these enemies. Going for the tank first is the biggest threat. Take out the wall turrets, everything goes down in 1 missile. Missile management is a bit of a factor going into this place, and you can find a little bit of special weapon ammo lying around.
You come here. No. See, I knew you were gonna do that. I saw you.
Oh, where's the green one? Away. There he is.
No, you don't.
Oh!
Over here, little brat. Jesus. So this was rather bad RNG. It's an example of why runners lose time here. Need to wait for some missiles to recharge.
Yeah, you need them right away. You gotta take these guys out before they leave the ground. They're gonna start taking flight, and yeah, the more that are in the air, the worse it is for you. Wait for this guy to get the apex of his liftoff, and then take these guys out. It can be quick, can be not. There are wall turrets shooting at you. A lot of stuff you can't see because you're forced to look up. You do not want to use lock-on. Oh, that snipe.
It sucks that one of them survived, because there's supposed to be 2 in the air, not 3, but we got him.
This tower coming up here. Wall turrets first. Shoot these bird bots on the way. There are a bunch of bird bots in there that will respawn until you get through the amount of waves. You'll be shooting missiles and jump bustering. Just gotta make sure you have a couple missiles left for the next area.
Alright, that was a good tower, actually. 2 of the waves are pretty fast. And this fridge is fried chicken. Are they cannibals or what? I don't know, but there's fried chicken, and we use that for money.
Very interesting lore. And speaking of interesting, this room sucks. There are 3 tanks right in front of you, and yeah, if you're not doing this weird, like, running, circling around in serpentine, these guys will just eat you for breakfast, and you can't do anything once you get hit. Like, you can't wiggle out of the damage with
it's a 3D shmup in that room, man.
Yeah. Oh, missed the quick turn. Okay,
I'm gonna reset the room.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Supposed to do a quick turn. Throw the box up onto a higher ledge.
I'd rather not have that room become a giant mess. I'm just gonna restart it. Alright, so quick turn. There we go. Goes up on the ledge. Escape jump. Right for this window. And that area's done. That one's usually pretty easy. Let's make a dumb mistake like I just did. Alright, there's their sister. Gotta get rid of these bird bots. And now the exit is the next worst area. You have to pick her up and lead her to the door because she has the key.
She can go left or right, or sort of in the middle. Oh, this is pretty deep, but yeah, Blue would take a long path around here and avoid everything.
Right. Made it up. Okay. So minus like the outside and a little bit with the planes, that was mostly good enough, but it was mainly the outside that sapped a lot of time. It was good enough otherwise though. And we're still not gonna go to the water dungeon yet because we're not done dealing with these bird bots and these things. I gotta develop a bunch of stuff, by the way. Developing the ground crawler, the drill arm, my aqua jets. Upgrade the drill. It's pretty cheap. And fun fact about the drill: it has the same exact DPS as the shining laser. If you know much about this game, you probably know what the shining laser is. But the drill and the laser share the same DPS. The problem is that the drill can't reach things. But the things we can reach, they go down the blink of an eye. So we made it back here, and we're getting attacked again. And this one's another auto-scroller. Like, what's the deal with these bird bots and their auto-scrollers and being so hostile all the time? So, just gotta wait for Roll to repair this weapon. It's called the... How do you pronounce that? Is that Parabola? I don't know. It's a weapon that she's gonna fix to deal with this ship over here shooting missiles. So, another auto-scroller. Got time for stuff, if there's any.
I think Parabola sounds right to me if I remember my high school math class correctly. But anyway, we actually happen to have a $5 donation train going on right now. We have an anonymous $5 donation, another anonymous $5 donation that says $5 train, and a third anonymous $5 donation that says $5 train to the last 40 needed. Let's do it! In fact, we only have about $25 more to go before we get to that 1,200. So if just 5 of you in chat donate $5, we can get there. I have faith in you, Twitch chat.
I can catch these missiles. I'm just messing around and getting hit trying to catch one. Like this one. Ugh. Throw missiles at other missiles. Okay. Hey, Roll, you want one? Ugh. Okay, now we're done dealing with these bird bots and gliding his dudes. So now we can finally go start this dang water dungeon. So when I come in here, talk to the guild master, he's gonna be like, okay, nice, you saved us yet again. I think they're gone now. You're free to go inside the ruin. So it gives us this thing called a rebreather. It's a key item, lets you breathe underwater. It doesn't change Mega Man's model at all for some reason, but hey, you know what? We take it. I wouldn't mind breathing underwater. Sounds good to me. So this place, it's probably the longest dungeon in the game, and it's known for being long, confusing, and especially if you're on the PS1 version, it's boring and slow. But here on the PSP port, it's a little bit different.
What?
Okay.
That's hyper aggro.
That's not common. So what happens here is that there's going to be times where you flood the ruin with water and remove the water. And when there's water here, the game speed gets cut in like roughly half. So everything just feels extremely slow. But on PSP, they changed that. They kept the water physics, but they got rid of the game slowing down. So as a speedrun, this place is actually not bad. But the PS1 version, if you're going to run that one, I'm sorry, but you should run this one instead. And there is going to be a pretty cool trick coming right up here. Hopefully I get it first try.
It's called Airwalk, and as the name suggests, you're going to be trying to throw this box into a wall at a specific angle and try and get on top of where the box would fall normally. There we go. First try, walking on air, walking on the box, but not really. But this game doesn't handle things being taken out from under you very well, so you get to walk on air and skip a tedious box puzzle.
Yeah, normally you have to stack two of them together on top of each other to jump over that red wall, but here we just do a really precise angle and throw timing to barely clip Mega Man's hitbox, and it lets us just walk in midair, which is pretty neat. And another box puzzle. There's water jets blowing you back, can't get through, so you gotta pick up this box and throw it on the button over here. Yeah, got it. Alright. Putting on the drill, because we're gonna be fighting the main ruin boss early. Unlike all the other dungeons, you fight the main ruin boss pretty early and then finish the ruin afterward. And it's 3 jellyfish, and we got a really interesting damage boost AI manipulation strat for him.
At the very start of the fight, you actually wait out the cutscene a little bit because Mega Man's position does get updated to where he runs to. You're going to be taking damage to manipulate their AI into wanting to do this like circling maneuver. It's completely consistent. And wow, instant key, a bunch of money. Yeah, you totally delete them with the drill, and they're always set up to move in that very consistent pattern. And coming up in here is the difference of the Japanese version shown in. Ooh.
Why did he do that?
I'm gonna reset the room. Yeah, they're mega aggro now. Yeah, you're trying to jump on top of these fish. This isn't included in the English version of the game. The English version opts for you to just stack some boxes and get over, because there are some really funny things you can do with those fish in those boxes. You can throw the boxes on the fish, and they'll like sink down, and the boxes will fly up into the air and bounce up and down. It's super strange. So they just figured fix the problem by removing the fish.
Yeah, in English there's a bunch of tiny fish instead, and they want you to just stack the boxes, but in Japanese PS1 and Japanese here PSP, the big fish are there, and jump on their back, go over the wall. Easy peasy. Well, not so easy actually. Apparently one felt like running from under me. That's like the last difficult part of the ruin here. Now it's just point A to point B. There's gonna be there's actually gonna be one giant room where I do like a really big skate jump, kind of blind too, but you have to go from one pillar to the other. But before you even get on the first pillar, you have to stand on a Reaverbot's back. He's in this next room here. And what direction he goes, between left or right, random. You want him to go left. And I'm hoping he goes left, because I'd rather not suffer another time loss. Let's see, where's he going? Nice. He went left. Alright, so I'm going to jump on this pillar. I'm like a big blind skate jump over there to that pillar. This one has Zenny, but the other one has the key to proceed. And these chests in this game 20,000. A lot of chests in this game just give you tons of zenny. Even though we collect zenny from enemies, most of the time we're getting the bulk of our zenny through chests. Alright, now we're done with water. Once I go down this elevator, no more water to worry about. No more slow game. Especially slower if you're on PS1.
Yep, you got the Aqua Jet specifically for this dungeon, but it's absolutely worth it. Blue wasn't really walking around down in the water sections, but if he was, you would just see how, like, tormenting it is. So, don't have to deal with any of that at all. But we're gonna be fighting this guy. This is Claymore. He's Bola's partner, and
he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. But just like Bola, he'll be back with a vengeance.
Gonna be fighting him again, and it's gonna be playing out the exact same way. He's gonna die really fast again. Even though he has new attacks he can use, if you just get up there soon enough, it doesn't matter. So pretty much just gonna be making our way all the way back up to the top of the dungeon. So if you got more donations and stuff, now's probably the perfect time actually.
Alright, so I would like to mention that we do indeed have esports attire over at Sector 6 Gaming. We have a wide assortment of tees, shorts, hats, joggers, and so much more. We might even see an exclusive RBG Gold Rush shirt, where the proceeds of your purchase go directly to Rad. Be sure to head to sector6apparel.com/collection/RBG for all RBG merch, including this event tee, which you can see in our layout periodically.
Let's try and get this swag jump. Nice.
Very nice.
That jump's a little tight, but if you get it, you know, it feels awesome, saves some time, looks swaggy. Pretty much just retracing steps here, going all the way back up. I wish there's some places that'll just teleport you out, like the 4th dungeon, but this one you got to go all the way back up to the very first room of the entire place and fight him again. I wish we could just fight him again in like the jellyfish room and then teleport us out, but you know. Thanks, Capcom. And I guess another thing to note about jumping and jet skating, because the jet skates have like a wind-up time that you probably notice, if the room is small enough, then like this one right here, it's usually faster to just do a couple of jumps than to wait for the skates to wind up. They're all flopping, there's some more water. I think just a couple more floors. I'm just glad the water's gone.
This dungeon's quite expansive. There are a lot of hidden goodies and stuff, and in 100% it gets explored as thoroughly as it could be, but it's just kind of long and I don't know if I would say uninteresting.
It's the tricks and stuff that make it cool, but like outside the tricks, it's yeah, there's not a whole lot to it. But we're almost out of here. It's one more set of steps, a couple rooms, and then fighting good old Claymore again, who's gonna sadly meet his fate to our drill yet again. Cool, none of them got my way this time.
If we did this refight normally, it would actually be somewhat difficult. It's kind of scary, his new attacks. He has like Krillin's Destructor Disc from Dragon Ball. See, he chooses
the laser thing.
Yeah, the lasers.
That attack is actually really hard to dodge too, but drill just doesn't make it. Yeah, it'll matter. Alright, so we got our second key. Just like with the first one, we'll be bringing it back to the sulfur bottom and then heading on to the next island. And next one is a desert island with the dungeon being fire themed. And as a speed run, like in the speed run, that place is really it's not full of tricks and stuff. It's more like it's just really dangerous because there's fire and lava all over the place. So it tends to absolutely destroy a lot of newer runners, and sometimes it might even sneak up on some experienced runners. You never know what might happen because a mistake can be very, very costly. It's another reason why I have a canteen right now.
There are a couple rooms that really just sneak up on you. They're like, you do it over and over again, and you don't realize how dangerous it is until you mess it up. And it's not even through carelessness sometimes. There's just some rooms that require accuracy, and if you're not on point, then you will lose your whole health bar.
Yeah, that place is super dangerous. So I just put on the next special weapon we'll be using for next while. It's called the ground crawler. It's you shoot bouncy balls that explode on contact, and they do a lot of damage. And you can stutter shoot them too. Like, you can stutter shoot them really fast.
Oh yeah, way faster than the other special weapons. They pack serious DPS. It's probably the only way in the game to one-cycle the next boss.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that these share the same DPS as the missiles, but you can shoot these way faster, so of course overall DPS is going to be way, way higher. And next boss coming up, it's very, very simple. You just shoot like some crawlers, wait for him to, you know, lift his guard up and then shoot him again. But if you super started them perfectly, like actually perfectly, you can actually just take him out in one cycle, but that's super hard. But yeah, it's possible. I did it earlier.
Before we get there, we have to fight the actual boss, the fence. This right here is an electric fence. Gonna be...
This kills a lot of runners.
Hopping over that one, gonna try and damage boost over this one. That's our iframes ending. Very nice. Shoot a ground collar on the way down for efficiency. And grabbing health and Zenny. Gonna be doing a shopping trip right here. Selling a couple things and buying a big buster part.
Hypercart and Power Razor Alpha on the buster parts. Alright, there we go. So then my buster is +6 attack, where it was before just +2. So my shots are pretty strong, but I have no range. But at the moment, there's hardly anything I need range for anyway. And the hyper cartridge, it restores the blue bar of my special weapon meter. And we're going to be using that for the final boss. Until then, we got that boss I was talking about. Let's see if I can get that one cycle.
Yeah, this is really sick.
Assuming I get it anyway. No, there was a space between my first and second shots. At that point, you just abort. So you just wait for him to lift his guard up and just it seems absurd damage.
If you don't abort, then he has a statue on top of his head that belongs to like the town, and you'll just blow all your ground crawlers into that, and you won't be doing damage to the boss. And in fact, he'll actually be totally changing his pattern, and he might go underground, and it's really not what you want to deal with. So you just wait there if you don't think you're gonna get the one cycle.
Yeah, he becomes like very, very mobile. He's going underground, swimming like a sand shark or something, and then he starts jumping across. You don't want to fight that. You just want to wait for him to just sit back up. Do not blow up the statue. So this turned on the elevator that was further down the hallway. But the door's locked. Kill these enemies. I'm gonna group them up first because I want their Zenny too. Jump over here. Oh, that was a good group. Mainly want the purples. Some ammo too, why not? So this is the fire dungeon. This place, like we were saying before, it's really heckin' dangerous, dude. It's not dangerous yet. It's not until you start seeing lavas where it gets really hairy. Until then, we're just going through some hallways, dodging some enemies.
Yeah, the dodges in here, they're not quite as scary as, say, Manda ruins, and they're not incredibly punishing. The punishing parts come from every room that has lava, essentially. Okay, not this one. This one doesn't count. But that's the boss. right over here, and he's not able to be hurt yet. We're gonna have to turn off the lava flow and deal with him later.
Yeah, you can hurt him, but he's programmed to just not die. He'll always have at least 1 HP, and then when his health is low enough, he just goes over and drinks lava, and then he's back up again. So you literally can't kill him. So what we instead have to do is go through a few of these rooms to unlock another room. And what's behind that other room we're trying to unlock is a stalactite, I think. Yeah, stalactite, a rock hanging from the ceiling. And it's hanging over the source of lava that's flowing out. So when you blow up that rock, it falls in and it plugs it up, so there's no more lava coming up. And then that's when the boss becomes vulnerable. So, oh, hard dodge right here. Let's see. This one and this one. So that's one of the punishing rooms. If you bonk one of those two guys while you're doing your skate jumps, you'll fall in the lava and nope. That's a lot of damage you can be taking.
Yeah, you can't die from being in lava or from having the fire effect on you, but any hit following that, you're toast.
Standing in the lava just does a million damage really, really fast. And then if you get out of the lava quick and not lose much health, well, you're on fire for a limited time, and there goes more of your HP. So you have to be very careful. It's another room where you can possibly mess up. All these rooms with lava in it, you gotta be very careful. 15K chest.
Lots of money. Pretty much going around and unlocking doors.
I don't think there's any more mandatory fights outside that one that was early on. Yeah, at this point, just point A to point B, so got some time for, donations and stuff you want to read out if you're all good.
So at the moment, I've read all the donations in my queue, but I am curious sort of what got you into deciding to run this game.
So let's see, this game, I started dabbling with this back in like 2012 actually, because at the time I was getting interested in speedrunning. I was looking up stuff on SDA, and at the time this was one of the games I was playing, and I was just like, you know what, let me just look into the speedrun of this game. Maybe Legends 1, why not? And I dabbled into learning it, doing some segmented stuff, but I kind of lost interest after a while. Then I came back to speedrunning Legends 1 first in 2014, late 2014. Then after getting that game down, I went back to this game in 2015. And then ever since then, that's when I've been speedrunning this game a lot. But what really just got me into it was just I was seeing runs on SDA and on streams here and there, and it's just like, let's just give this a shot. Let me see what this is like. And then this was my first game I decided to speedrun.
Nice.
Yep, been run this Legends series since 2014, or if you count the whole dabbling in 2012 thing, then it's either 7 years or like 9 years, depending on how you look at it.
Depending on what your count is, how long you've been running it.
Pretty much. Alright, so here's the room we've been trying to unlock. And in here we have our old pirate friends, Tron and Bonbon. And we're not going to fight them yet. We're going to work together to take down this lava pillar thing. That's what we call it. The stalactite, whatever this thing is. And the way this fight works is kind of dumb, but has an interesting trick to it. Let's see.
Be looking for these enemies that are running around and incapacitating them with a buster shot, and then Bonbon or Tron will go over and pick them up. And then when they throw it at the lava pillar, it unlocks its iframes. So that means that the damage can come from any source, including your ground crawlers. So you can do way more damage than what is intended on this thing, as long as you time it in tune with how Tron and Bon are throwing the enemies. Maybe clean it up in one more go. If it's super low, you can you can even lift them up yourself and throw it at the lava pillar. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, this room is terrible. It torments top runners. It's very random. It's pretty hard, and you have to judge how your allies are throwing the enemies and such. This boss is much easier. Pretty chill. You just kind of react to whatever he's doing and start shooting.
Yeah, he's really simple. He's desperate for lava since there is none anymore. Now we can finally hurt him.
Pretty much just, like, even if the blue orbs are coming your way, they get deleted with a buster shot. So even if they're right in front of your face, you don't even have to worry. There's bosses very simple.
Yep.
Another attack where you can breathe fire and you just walk out of the way, and that's pretty much the extent of that.
Yeah, really easy boss compared to all the other ones at least. And now we're gonna make our way back up because what happened is they went to go get the key, this place, the third key that we're trying to get. And we were distracted with the boss, so they're like, hey, you know, let's you know, sneak up behind him and just go get that key. So we're gonna make sure we get up there and stop them because no, we want the key. We can't let them have it. But on the way up, the rooms are changed a little bit, kind of like Manda Ruins. God, and these leeches.
Ooh, that was the first, the first floor trap we ran into. That's what this dungeon is notorious for. Especially in the PlayStation 1 versions, those things are extremely hard to react to and get out of.
And this is probably the most dangerous room in like probably the whole ruin, maybe the whole game, with the strat I'm gonna be going with.
Yep, I'm gonna be dropping down here, trying to get out of the lava right quick, and now these missiles are chasing him. It's extremely intense. Barely dodged the explosion. And it's so scary. Like, if Lava Pillar is objectively the worst, I think my personal least favorite room is that one back there. It's always like,
stressful.
high pressure. Yeah.
All right, so this next boss fight with Tron is difficult, so I need some focus time here for just a moment.
Right.
Oh, I just had to shoot one more. But no, that fight is actually very, very easy. You just look up, shoot a few colors, and she's dead. And then Bon got away with the key, but we ain't gonna let him have it, so we just do the exact same thing. We just hit him with some colors, and he's dead.
You defeat Tron, Bon, and Teasel with the same strat. In the span
and they
of
all
like
go
10
down very
minutes.
fast.
Yeah.
This weapon is broken. It's very, very OP. And Capcom knew that, because here in the PSP port, they made the upgrades to the attack slightly more expensive, but it wasn't enough to really change the route at all, really. So their nerf hardly nerfed anything, actually. And we're not done using that weapon yet. We're going to be using it for the next dungeon, too.
Yeah, it is quite important in the next dungeon. Not necessarily for the damage, but that is a factor, but it also has some neat utility that you can't really be seen offered from the other weapons.
Yeah, like there's some things you're going to be destroying to get out of your way when you're doing some platforming, and it's hard to really do that stuff with the Buster, but the ground crawler makes things pretty convenient. On top of, you know, the damage you're going to be doing to the bosses and such. Alright, and the fourth dungeon, it's actually back on the first island we went to. This snowy place. I think it's pronounced Yashanka, something like that. I never fully understood it, but either way, this place, nice and cozy, winter theme. But we can't go in the dungeon yet, because there's a annoying train boss we'll be fighting first. Okay, for safety's sake, let's get that. Oh, this. So what I bought was another Buster part, and I upgraded my canteen with an extra point. So the canteen, I haven't explained what it was, but it's like an energy tank. You can use it when you're in danger, restores your health. And I bought an extra point for it, so I can get not only a full heal, but also 1 extra point of healing just in case I happen to get down to 0 HP again. So it's like I have 2 heals just in case I need it. Because you never know what might happen in a marathon. Normally I just get the 1 canteen, my 1 heal instead of 2. So I just talked to that dude to get a key for this train here. Because the pirates are back, both factions of them, Glide and the Bonds. And gotta deal with this annoying train boss here. Alright. Shoot these bombs. Not really that threatening. This first phase with Glide, it's gotta take down this turret shooting bombs. Then afterward, you just shoot the car itself. But the one that really sucks to deal with is the Bond car. and you'll see why in just a moment. Until then, this is all stutter shooting. You don't have enough range on your weapon to really do much with it. So this is just testing how well you can mash up and do it at a rhythm and not get tired.
You can kind of get some super stutter going over here. Just a little bit of maximization.
Yeah, when it finally gets close enough. Oh, they're floating.
This part used to be much worse. It is still a little luck-based, but before it used to be extremely punishing in that these missiles have various heights at which they can come at you. That one is always scripted. The perfect height for you to pick up and throw back, but some missiles can go so high that you can't normally grab them, so you have to do a fancy maneuver here, like spin around and catch them as they're going at a downward angle. But some missiles are able to be caught.
These are so
like,
stressful to try and grab, dude.
Yeah,
because the timing is tight. You can easily miss it or get hit by it.
It's always slightly variant depending on their height, because it's not just like a high missile and a low missile. There are all these heights in between that you have to adapt to.
Oh, come on.
That just looks difficult.
Yeah, you're swerving around to pick them up from behind, because otherwise they're too high and they just hit you in the face either way. And before we figured out how to do that maneuver, what would happen is we'd be like, okay, give us all low missiles. We see a high one, oh, we gotta just shoot it down and wait for another one. And sometimes you would just get streaks of high missiles over and over and over again. They've come a long way, but it's still stressful. And now they're slowing down, and that's when you can finally start shooting at them. Very threatening cannon you got there. I can now ignore it. And look here. This is the engine. Bon is the engine. They're working that poor boy. And we're gone. Can't believe it. The bonds are dead. They're not dead, but sometimes they get annoying, especially in Legends 1. But anyway, that threat is done with. They'll actually open up the 4th engine for us, and we can head on inside. It's ice theme, as you'd probably guess. And even though most games and a lot of speedruns, you typically hate ice physics, but in this speedrun, we actually learned to abuse the ice physics to help out with momentum-based stuff. Like, for example, there's going to be some times where we're jet skating, but if we do like a jump or something, or just if you stop skating while you're under ice physics, and if you don't hold forward like you typically would, you hold your momentum from your skating, and it actually ends up being faster than just holding forward. Get that tight jump. Nice.
All right. Yeah, this place has very unique tech with the jet skates, and you're going to be seeing all sorts of stuff. And coming into this room, there's like a ceiling panel you have to take care of, like a shard of ice, shooting a couple of these guys with the Buster and the ground crawler, and going to be using momentum. First case right there, doing a neutral jump off. It's very important that you don't hold forward, because you'll change your momentum into the normal running momentum, which is much slower than this accelerated sliding speed. Getting a bunch of Zenny.
Jump over that dude. He's taking out the whole hallway.
There's only
so
one
that's pretty
thing.
much the last bit of Zenny I needed for the rest of the run.
Yeah. We'll be only using it for one more upgrade.
For one more weapon we'll be getting, and this is the first part of it. The weapon that everyone should know at this point if you played this game, the Shining Laser. Unlike Legends 1, we can actually get this Shining Laser in this speedrun, because in Legends 1 it's hidden behind a very long side quest, but here it's just one piece here, and at the start of the final dungeon it's just one piece there, and there you go. And the first attack upgrade we'll be getting for it costs about 50,000 Zenny, and I had about 12k before I came in here, maybe a little bit more than that. And I picked up 8k from the start of this rune, then that 30k chest, and now we're good on Zenny. Don't have to worry about it anymore. Oops. Those traps are gone, thankfully. Yeah, just love all the momentum sliding and all the momentum jumps you can get in here from the ice physics. Actually makes this place really fun. But even though this is my favorite rune in the whole game, there's 2 rooms nearly back to back that are just full of RNG that could just eat all of your time if you're unlucky. That's not for a little while yet. This dodge is a little bit tight, just a little bit. If you bonk something, then he's gonna hit you with that electric barrier thing. There's almost all your health. Alright, that Zakobon isn't here to greet me, thankfully. Let's do this jump shot.
Yeah, after this room, we're gonna be doing this big skip. I guess you would call it a big skip. Yeah, you kind of just do this skate jump and mitigate like the whole room. You're supposed to walk into these other supplementary rooms and climb up via those, but if you do that skate jump, it's pretty easy. You just climb on top and hold forward.
Alright, here's the first RNG room. This one can suck if you're unlucky.
Okay, this guy's really close to the hole.
Yeah, he's too close. He's gonna run away first. Alright, you're my boy, come on. You have to lure them into this hole. There's 3 of these Mammoth Reaver bots in 3 holes, and each one that falls into a hole unlocks a door next to it. This is the one to proceed. And right here is the next room full of RNG. There's 3 key-shaped Reaver bots, and I have to grab them so I can unlock the next door, but there's dudes that come out of the snow here, and there's this turret guy.
Yeah, everything is out to make sure that you do not grab these keys. The keys themselves even run away. Look at that. Look how scary it is. And you really have to make sure you're not detected. You can avoid their line of sight by being in the air like that if you would need to approach them head on, but otherwise, yeah, you really have to look out for their red glowing orb, sneak up behind them, grab them with either the lifter or circle. And
that wasn't too bad considering he ran towards the door.
Right. Yeah, you really want him to, at least, if he's gonna run away, at least run towards where you're going.
That was the boss, by the way. He's just chilling. He's not hostile yet, but of course that's when you take his car keys. It's like, all right, I'm kind of angry now. And this boss is we often call him a sad boy because just look at that face. He's not very happy.
You stole from him.
I stole his key. This dude has a lot of iframes, a lot of attacks you have to wait out, so we just wait for the times where he's vulnerable and shoot more ground crawlers at him. Just look at that sad boy. I feel bad. Alright, shoot some more crawlers. I know, I purposely jumped down here to end this attack early. I'm taking a lot of damage for it, but it's fine.
And this last attack is just a long, once again, iframe based attack. He's gonna chase you all around the arena. Can't hear him, but he's going like moderately fast. And then he gets tired, and that's the end of it.
Yep, there goes that boss. Alright, that's the 4th dungeon. And the other reason why that dungeon is scary is you probably saw those little guys that are colored blue. If you touch them, you get hit with 2 status effects at the same time. One is blue fire, same exact effect as regular fire. It's just colored blue. You take damage over time. And the other effect that's worse is the paralysis effect, the electricity one where you're moving really slow. You put both those together just for touching the guy, and there's a million of them spawning in that big snow room. So things can get really hairy in that key room. That's why that room sucks. You can get unlucky, they spawn around you, and a lot of stuff can happen. You lose a lot of time, you take a lot of damage, you might even die. So that place is awful, but we're through it now. Putting the missiles back on because we got one more boss coming up. So right when we turn in the 4th key, we're gonna get ambushed by a flying Reaver bot, and missiles right here are our best bet.
Totally doable with crawlers, but it's very likely that you're not going to be in a position to be able to use them very well. You're kind of just hoping for one attack at that point, whereas missiles are a lot more consistent. So this guy's going to be flying around doing a couple attacks. He can do a charge at you, he can with these blue shots, or he can like sort of like yank himself back and then do a charging attack where he like goes low and tries to sweep you.
I hate that move so much because it ruins your DPS. This
is it right here. You just
okay, I got it.
Okay. You traded with him so he could land after this go around.
Yeah, if that attack is notorious for not letting you deal enough damage, and during this last phase is when it's the worst time to get it. So I'm glad that I still got enough damage in on him when he did it. He has one more attack that's really, really dangerous where he glows red and shoots like a whole bunch of like just a bunch of explosive projectiles along the floor, and it can just do almost your entire HP bar. But he didn't do that one. That one's dangerous. But I also hate when he does that low sweep one. That one sucks. But we got him, so. Alright, here's the other piece of the Shining Laser. I'm using that for the remainder of the run here. And that weapon is really heckin' strong.
Yeah, unlike Legends 1, where you really had to work to make the Shining Laser useful in any way, this one comes packing a punch right off the bat. It has pretty good energy, and with the one attack upgrade, you really do a lot more damage than your Buster, so it's really good for its sustainability. It's got good range even, you know, despite what the stats might suggest. It's just all around a really good weapon, and pair that with the Hyper Cartridge we got at the sort of mid-game, it just is like the ticket to victory.
Yep, so this is the final dungeon here. We're up in outer space. And the keys were stolen, and they're gonna be used to do some really catastrophic thing to the people on the planet, but we're gonna stop that. But the boss behind it is kind of hard, but we'll talk about that boss when we get there. But the whole boss rush and the ending boss can be really dangerous if you don't know what you're doing or if you get unlucky. Until then, this place is kind of like a maze with some gravity changing stuff in there. Its design's pretty cool. I like turning on low gravity when possible, but in this speedrun we don't have that option. We're dealing with high gravity pretty much all the time, so we move slower. Our jumps are pretty low, and there's several rooms like this where you have to just kill all the enemies to unlock the door. And also, if you're not careful, there's a handful of those leech things that are on the ground. That if you're not careful, you might get stuck on one of those too. So every time I cross those pink bars, the gravity increases, but it's only one level of increased gravity. And I would hate if it can go any higher. Imagine not being able to jump at all.
Yeah, and this one already hinders your jet skate speed a bit. It's a little scary to dodge some of the enemies. There are going to be some flaming dudes walking down the hallway minding their own business.
Even though they have eyes, they tend to move around like they don't. They're just, hey, I'm going to just walk around here. I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go this way. Oh, sorry, bud. Oh, hey, you're on fire. I'm sorry. Just touching these guys puts you on fire. It's not cool. This one you can just kind of shoot the enemies as they move in. Alright, these guys right here. Be careful of them. Get out of my way. And coming up here is like almost like a mini boss fight. These two spider things, no health bar, nothing. Oh, excuse me? Hey. Gotta look out for those red bubbles. Nope. Crap.
Yes, bubbles that set you on fire.
I'll pick up the health just in case. I stopped lasering the second one too early. It's just red bubbles that set you on fire, man. What the heck?
It's pretty interesting though that while you're going through the door, you're actually running down the timer of the fire. So if you really just can't afford to take damage from the fire, you could go in and out of doors repeatedly.
Yeah, it's a pretty good tactic if you want to just run down the timer and not worry about your health too much.
Almost at the end of the main maze area.
And we're coming up to the what's called the residential area. It's just a room full of teleporters and tiny buildings. And the goal is to go through the path of teleporters to the main island in the center. That's where we begin the boss rush. And we're just looping around the building in a circle. And there's some of these fire dudes around here, but most of them are a threat. But there's one of them, unlike the last island, that might have a very slight chance of having you land on him when you're jumping. It had it happen to me earlier today. So it's still not really threatening, but it's just annoying. I hate these guys. That guy. He was at the bottom of the screen. Alright, come in here. Talk to Data. And so begins the boss rush.
Yeah, this gauntlet coming up is pretty difficult. It is entirely possible that Blue uses his energy canteen, at least the first portion of it, especially on the jellyfish refight. So you're going to be refighting the frog first, and then Sad Boy, and then the jellyfish, and then finally ending with the dude who drank lava, the really tall guy. This frog can do two things. It can either jump across the stage like that, which is bad, or it can start shooting bubbles, which you want. Gonna be approaching these boss fights with a little different flavor than the first fights.
Yeah, the laser makes things a little bit different, but also not too stressful with the first two fights. This the jellyfish fight that's really stressful, but just like the first time when we fought our sad boy blob, he has a lot of iframes, a lot of attacks to way through. So, got any donations? Anything you want to say? That was a good time actually.
So I guess now would be a good time to mention that we have less than $25 to go before we reach 1,200. We don't have that much time left before the end of this run, but do you think we can get there, chat? I think we can get there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, come on. Get on. Just gotta wait out all these iframes, shoot him, wait out some more iframes. This dude is just the king of wasting your time. And just like before, gotta run away, because he's chasing you. He's not slow. Like, if I were to stop, he'd probably hit me. Finish him off. So if you haven't gotten a good look at his face, I'll give you a good look right now. You see how
So
sad he is?
So sad.
You see how sad he is. And there goes all of his blob stuff. You have to wait all that out before you can finally leave.
Yeah,
Alright,
after
so coming
this
up next,
yeah,
the jellyfish fight, man. Oh.
after the next elevator ride down, we're gonna be going under the jellyfish fight. This fight is completely flipped on its head compared to the one underwater. These jellyfish just have a totally different behavior pattern based on whether they're in water or not. And the first time around, Blue did this damage boost manipulation strat, but you can't do anything like that here. And you're at the mercy of these yellow orbs that are coming down. They do not stop. You're going to be doing a strat involving hitting both of them at the same time, but he still really has to be wary of these shots, and they do a lot of damage. And once you're in hit stun, there's no getting out of it if he has a follow-up attack coming up your way. So that was a nice, safe jellyfish fight.
Yeah, I could have been a little bit more YOLO on it, but I think one of the last shots coming from the first two was like really delayed, so I was worried that was going to hit me and ruin things. But yeah, just killed two at the same time and then dodged shots from the last one. And each shot does like a fourth of my health, so I have to be very careful. And you can get hit stunned into death too if you're not careful.
This guy is much more the same. This is the most similar fight. He has an interesting property where he takes less damage from special weapons, so it actually is optimal to stutter shoot this guy, which is really convenient because if you notice, the green bar is filled all the way, but the blue bar is empty. That's perfect because, like, it's not quite empty, so he's gonna have full ammo once he sees Data again. Data refills your ult.
Oh, god dang it. I was trying to do the YOLO thing, but you know, whatever. Whatever. There's nothing threatening left, at least. Yeah, when you heal at Data, he only restores your blue bar of your special weapon meter, and the way that the special weapon energy works in this game is that when you're using the weapon, it spends the green bar. It's kind of like your current clip, like a magazine, your current amount of ammo, and then when it starts to regenerate, it takes away from the blue bar. But when you heal at Data or use the hyper cartridge, it only restores the blue bar. So it's nice to go into Data with a full green bar instead of having like empty blue bar and a little bit of empty green bar because there's nothing left for it to recharge from. So our ammo's looking pretty good, and I didn't use either of my heals yet. So now is final boss time.
This is Sarah. Sarah is a manipulatable fight at first. Like, the first phase is totally in your control, assuming you can play the fight right and aim your laser correctly. But the second one's pretty random. So, you'll be starting off lasering, put yourself in a very nice position to hit her no matter where she goes. And
she happened to be really far away from me that time.
Yeah, you really want to get as much damage as you can because... Oh, that was all. Speaking of damage. So you really want to get the health bar down as much as possible to make this attack happen. This attack is scripted to happen at every quarter of Sarah's health bar. So as long as, yeah, Sarah's health bar is down here, so at the last quarter you're going to see the attack again. Very nice. Yeah, the first attack was a little bit iffy, but it ended pretty nicely. This is Sarah 2. This fight is pretty random, starting from the first attack. So she approached instead of doing the Omai Wamo Shinderu attack. Going with the laser, you have to sort of aim it away so you can jump over it and keep attacking. Black hole, this is a really nice fight, actually.
Alright, time's coming right up. Be ready.
Right here. And...
time. Alright, GG. That's Legends 2, everybody. What's my IGT? I'm curious. You can actually skip right to it in this game, actually. 115 flat. Hey, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. Not bad for a marathon run, considering everything that happened. But, you know, not bad. Not bad, not bad. That fight can be pretty dangerous. You can get an unlucky combination of attacks that really just destroy you. Like that black hole, it keeps you sucked in, and you can't move very well, and she might just give you the most undodgeable attack following that. You never know. But we got her. That was no problem. Even if the laser was going to hit me, I was willing to tank it. I still had another heal left. But we got her. GG. That was Mega Man Legends 2. Hope you all had fun watching. I had a lot of fun running this game for everybody. Oh, how do I navigate this menu? Oh. Let me get out of this menu back to the title screen. So, that was Legends 2, everybody. Hope you had a lot of fun watching. I had a lot of fun running it for everybody here. And, yeah. I'll see you all around. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the marathon.
And thank you for that awesome run. GG on that. Towards the end of that boss rush, we did have a $24 donation from Equate that says, "I can't take it anymore," which put us at over $1,200 raised for this event, and 18 cents. I would also like to mention that we have actually had a bit of a schedule shift for the rest of today's marathon schedule. Coming up next, we are actually going to be going straight to Outlast by Randomize. After which, we will be having Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition run by Cutieroo. And then we will be finishing our day with Ori and the Will of the Wisps co-op randomizer by Cutieroo and Shonavin. So get hyped for those runs while we get set up.